Row number 4 in the 7th position, in number 41, and that is Jim Christopherson in his number 41 Ventrilo, one of the Dave Nance Motorsports drivers here. Jim qualifies in at 162.687. He's on the inside to his outside. Rick Mounts driving the number 73 in that Fender Guitar-sponsored Chevy Monte Carlo, 162.549.
In the inside of row number 5 in the 028, that's going to be Clint Day at 162.502 miles per hour. On the outside, there the 014 driven by Kevin Hires at 161.780 miles per hour.
And in row number 10, and I believe the last driver here on the inside, and a driver that qualified, transferred up from the Hooters, that's the number 0 here, but the number 76 of Mike Gibson. Not sure why he's in the 0 car, but Mike qualified in at 148.633. John, and you know what? When you qualify in at a speed like that, you hit probably one of those walls coming off of one of those turns, John.
You heard the command to start the engines, and now the cars begin to make their way down off of pit road, and he's exactly right. That being Ed, that certainly for Mike Gibson, he must have missed a corner here and did some damage to that machine, so the crew went, got that damage repaired, and he's out on the track now as they begin to make their way into turn number 1 and under the direction of the pace car. Join us tonight as we're now coming around in turn number 3 to get this race underway.
And the green flag's going to wave here in just a minute, but you know the number 48 is at a little bit of disadvantage if the green flag does wave right now. Griffin Taylor, your winner of the Hooters Pro Cup, he's on the inside. Jeremy Higgins could get the run here, John, coming down that front stretch, getting into turn number 1, because the number 48, with those tires being that cold, going to have to really slow up getting into that turn.
They work well together side by side, though. They are down side by side off the corner. The high side there for Jeremy Higgins going to work as they come off of turn number 1. Down this straightaway now they go, and they'll be making their way in their entrance into the tunnel turn now. Look at Higgins drive that machine hard down that straightaway now into that turn, and he looks so far so good. Looking back through the field, though, a lot of guys there kind of checking up, and caution is back out.
And the caution comes out just that quick, and my God, I hope it's not Jim Christopherson in that 41 as it is, and he just came off of turn number 2. So we know it wasn't old Jim Bob there; it was somebody else that caused that. So we'll try to. There, the pace car is coming off. We'll try to.
Contact there for Kevin Hires as he was coming down the turn number 2, turn number 1 there, came off turn number 1 there, slow car down the bottom, and they make contact, and you've definitely got to show this on the replay for these folks out here in FSR TV land. That car took a beating, did Kevin's car there. I'm going to look right up through the field here to see where this actually started, but intense is not a word that is used well enough here to describe what just took place there. The number 90 machine checked up, got down on the bottom of it, Gary Tinchert, then slid right up the raceway, got into 135, and then, there's no adage. All heck broke loose because several cars, Eric Porterfield involved, J.A. Adams involved, also Gary Tinchert there involved. So a lot of guys there. The guy who took the beating, though, is that 014. That ARCA series, the car just just turned into a Pinto, Ed.
Well, we're going to cue up the instant replay here as you're going to watch them coming down that front stretch as a pack of cars. And, you know, this is where you find trouble, John. It's not just out here simulation racing. It's in the real life stuff out here at Pocono. So we're going to cue this up for the folks. We're going to show you. We have it on the number 014, I believe. That's Kevin Hires. That took, it was like a missile that came at him. So, folks, hold on to your hats here. We're going to go bring this live. This is FSR TV Instant Replay. Well, you can really see it from there. The 014 is to the outside. We're in slow motion right now, folks, so you're not going to hear the engines. But you see the number 90 gets down low. and I believe he hits the number 35 as he comes back up, and you'll see him come back up, hit the 135, drive the 135 right into the 14, driving him into the wall, almost into the trees, John. And boy, oh boy, it was on after that. Also, the number 3 of Eric Porterfield, Buck Kicker Live, Chevy Monte Carlo, he was caught up in that mess. And boy, oh boy, and you're right. I mean, the 014, John, really took the damage right there. Boy, and that's definitely going to they're going to be beating and banging on that car for quite some time, John, as we're going to bring it back up now, back to live coverage. But, my God, that was carnage, John, at its best.
That will be one incident that will go down in instant replay history here at FS Real Racing, so we'll save that one in the archives. It's funny, the 0 on the decal on his left side is just, it looks retarded now, to be quite honest. It's absolutely skewed, and that's got to be one of the worst incidents I've seen at Pocono in quite a while. I mean, he just absolutely tore down the wall there off the corner, so tough break there for Kevin Ayers. I know that's not what he wanted to see here early in this event, and definitely that's going to hurt his chances. Now, while we got this caution, I got to ask a lot of the folks out there in FSR TV land want to know, do you sleep with your wheel and pedals?
Hey, John, listen, at $1,300, and that was 10 years ago for this ECCI, really, I probably shouldn't be saying that since we're sponsored by Thomas Superwheel, but my extreme competition controllers, you know, $1,300 10 years ago, John, that's a lot of money at 10 years ago for this NASCAR simulation racing, and the control, the wheel and the pedals haven't done a darn thing to them. Knock on wood, man, because every time I say that, I'm figuring that I'm going to have to spend a couple $100 to get this baby back under control. But no, though, the wheel and pedal set, John, working just fine out here as we're watching the 014, and his. I can't even tell you what kind of car it is from this angle, John. There is no markings on this race car right now. And boy, oh boy, they did bang out the sheet metal on both sides, John. Fix that, but you know, pretty much the back of that car is gone.
Well, shout out down in the FS Real Racing chat box right now under caution. We got John Dotson, John Hanna, Pete Lichty, Mike Costa, also Harry Dodd, all down there in Petropolis. And those guys are showing us their dedication. Have all the rest of you folks watching live night, come on in, tune in, and jump in that chat room. We'll try to get the banner going here between you guys. As certainly, Ed, there was a good question there, wanting to know if you slept with that wheel. I wonder if that keeps you warm in life at night, or is it Michelle?
They're not allowed to ask those kind of questions, John. What kind of question is that? But you know what I want to do? I want to find out how badly damaged that 014 is, because boy, oh boy, looking from the back of that race car, it's really pushed up to the back windshield, sort of like didn't know what kind of car it was, and had to go around to the front. And Chevy Monte Carlo, you couldn't tell that from the back side of this car. So, well, I don't know if Kevin Hayes is going to be the man to talk to right now, but we'll certainly get him in here, try to get an in-car interview, John. I'm going to cue it up. We're going to throw it over to you. Kevin Hayes, this is Ed EW along with John Sanford here, FSR TV Broadcast Center. Do you have a copy on us?
Kevin, this is Jonathan Sanford here in the booth. I've got to tell you, we've seen a lot of interesting incidents here at Pocono Raceway, but that one has to rank right up there at the top. I tell you what a wild ride you just took. How are you doing? And more importantly here, under the circumstances, how's that Pinto you're driving now?
Okay. That kind of caught me off guard there. Kind of got caught in the plan.
Well, we saw that was an incredible accident. We're surprised you're not out there in the pine trees right now. But, Kevin, best of luck to you. I tell you what, you're going to have a tough uphill battle now with the damage that we're seeing here on the broadcast tonight with that machine. But hope that you can get this thing up front here as close as you can and maybe somehow get in that transfer spot tonight, Kevin.
I really right for that.
Well, there we heard it from Kevin Hires. His number 014. He's listed as driving a Ford, but shows up out there as a Chevy tonight.